Thank you, Madam Chair, and members of this committee. For the record, I'm Representative Jane Cormier from Belknap District 8, the communities of Alton, Barnstead, and Gilmanton. I'm here before you today to present HB 1397, establishing a study committee on the Department of Education operating within its statutory authority. Many constituents have contacted me regarding several recent concerns with the New Hampshire DOE. The major theme of these concerns seems to be the lack of legislative oversight, with many new statutes being implemented within the DOE. Indeed, many recent changes within the DOE have gone under the radar, neither coming before this legislature or being openly offered to the public, who is currently looking for answers. Of special concern is whether the DOE eliminated the Division of Educational Improvement and replaced it with the Division of Instruction by exercising authority not granted by this general court. In addition, there is a statutory authority for the Division of Instruction to oversee 5 regional professional development centers. One has great difficulty trying to locate how the Division of Instruction came into being. It seems the Division of Instruction is commissioned to provide implementation of Common Core, but without New Hampshire School Board's authorization. We believe that this is in direct conflict with the established governance of school districts. Meetings at these regional centers seem to have no records or minutes of the meeting. With our state trying to implement a huge federal program known as Common Core and its subsequent Smarter Balance assessments, it is believed the Department of Ed has hired, quote, regional liaisons to implement Common Core with superintendents and principals, but without the knowledge and consent of our school boards districts. I personally have much unease with any bureaucratic administration meeting under the radar without public hearings or input. It is hoped that this study committee will be able to offer clarity and bring to this discussion much needed fact-finding answers with regard to DOE overreach. My purview has been fairly recent with Common Core being instituted in our state. I think many school boards signed on to Common Core because the DOE pretty much pervasively said this is a great program and didn't go deeply into the districts to discuss what that meant. These districts signed on. I know my community of Alton signed on to Common Core without fully understanding what it was, just because it's very easy for our boards to be told this is the expert thing to do, this is good for the children, it's good for everybody. The process was not transparent, and we woke up in July in a summer when school wasn't meeting to find out that Alton had signed on to Common Core. This kind of thing, this kind of overreach, this kind of thing is what this committee will make clear. How did that happen? How is it that it didn't come through our school districts? And I can name numbers of school districts that this is true. So that's part of the bill, is to find out. Let's just get the facts. That's all we're asking.
I know that in the district I sit on as a chair, we had done quite a bit of research, and we agreed to do this. None of us felt that anyone pulled the wool over our eyes. So I'm not truly understanding the part that it was done secretively with us.
Well, okay, thank you. You know what? I can't speak to what you experienced. I can speak to what I experienced. I can speak to what my husband has experienced. I can speak to what many constituents in my 3 communities have experienced, and well beyond as well what has happened with this. At very best, this has been murky.
Did I hear you correctly to say that the Common Core is a federal program out of the Federal Department of Education?
Yes. This is one of the... Thank you for the question.
Is the answer yes?
In my opinion, yes.
Okay, thank you. That's all I need to know.
Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Michelle Lavelle. I represent the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance. The DOE has opened up for all of our students in the state by agreeing to the Smarter Balance assessment test that is required for all public schools. A few years ago, the New Hampshire legislative bodies passed the unique pupil identifier as a way to try to protect student privacy here in our state. However, that's not the protection it would seem to be either. There is no such thing as completely anonymizing data anymore.
I'm Deborah Ulster. I live in Manchester. The New Hampshire Department of Education has demonstrated a lack of concern for the transparency to the public. The department also videotapes each board meeting, but hasn't posted a single video recording in nearly 2 years. How can parents and taxpayers begin to understand the motivation behind these changes if there's no record of any public or board discussion? This lack of transparency undermines our ability to participate in our local and state governments. So please pass HB 1397 and help bring the department back in line with what is good and proper for the citizens of New Hampshire as well as lawful.
Good afternoon. My name is Darcy Brown. I'm very good. I'm here to represent New Hampshire Families for Education. So Common Core is voluntary, but the department is not going by that. In 2010, the commissioner, anticipating the adoption of Common Core state standards by the board the following month, promised the U.S. Department in the Race to the Top grant application that every district would adopt Common Core. The commissioner shouldn't be misleading legislators or the public or the school boards. They shouldn't be mandating Common Core. So how did those standards get in our district? They talk about the 5 regional liaisons, the newest addition to the support and outreach for the implementing of Common Core state standards. This is not transparent. There are no minutes. They are meeting with my district, outside of my purview. That is my objection. They usurp our state and our U.S. Constitution. The commissioner is imposing the Smarter Balance assessments upon the districts, even though they violate the law, RSA 193C, which requires that the assessments be valid and objectively scored. And there are many other things that are wrong. And to figure out how to get us back on track of following the law and getting a representative form of government for our people and our schools.